Oh.
All right, this is a Beers and Banter episode by the Hobby Homies. I am Fox, this is Shane,
What up?
and this is a little bit different, as you can tell by my Darth Vader bottle opener.
I heard it.
Haven't heard that one in a minute. Yeah.
It's been a red hot minute.
We are doing this episode from the comfort of our own homes because of lockdown. We're locked down. We're stuck here.
We are locked down indeed. This is lockdown episode 4. I'm not enjoying it.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Bad time.
I thought this was behind us. If I'm totally honest with you, I thought this was beneath us.
People just can't stop licking eyeballs, dude, and it's spreading. Papa Nurgle's blessings everywhere.
Is that how it's spread? I don't know much
That's
about.
what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
I think someone told you that because they wanted you to stop licking their eyeballs. They're like, dude, Shane, seriously, you got to stop. This is how you spread COVID. You're like, oh crap, I didn't know. I thought it was like, You're saying no, but I'm 100% sure that's what's happened.
No, I don't think so.
So
look, you liked it.
No, Shane, this is how COVID is spread. Look, we just recorded our main episode, which is coming out this Sunday. That's on the top 5 hobby tools that you do not have. Unless you do.
Absolutely.
So, on that one, obviously, the name is self-explanatory, but we thought we'd just kick back whilst we're in the comfort of our own homes with a few beverages in hand and talk all things nonsense.
You know what we used to do when we did Beers and Banter online back in the day?
Yeah.
We would talk about what brews we're drinking because we are not drinking together. We're just drinking alone at home.
And usually they were different, so that's exciting.
And today, I do not believe they are different. Is that right?
I'm drinking a Mountain Goat Organic Steam Ale that has been in my fridge since the dawn of time. Are you too?
Me
Is that
too.
what you're going to say?
Yeah, me too. But I picked up mine from the bottle on the way home from work today.
So let's compare fresh versus 8-month-old beers. How's yours taste?
It's called aged. Mine's fresh. And it's delightful. Yeah.
Yeah, mine is also delightful, so it sounds like they're the same. Mountain Goat is a favorite of ours. It's just a little bit too expensive, I guess.
Hey, they're on special at this bottle. They're a 6-pack for $20.
Oh, that's real good. Yeah, that's pretty good then.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no dries, but yeah.
No. Yeah. It's like
I
half
typically
dries nearly.
I like exploring beers. So if I go into a store and the Mountain Goats are, $24, $25 for a 6-pack, I'll usually go snag a little cheeky IPA instead. Okay. So
and you'll pay $24 for like a 4-pack?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, they're a bit stronger. I get to sample these new flavors. They usually got a bit more going on. I mean, but I'm drinking this now and I'm like, damn, why don't I do this more often? It's phenomenal. So
yeah.
The Mountain Goat is a beer of choice.
Yeah, it holds up.
So let's talk some hobby stuff. This is a hobby podcast, I guess. We're hobbyists, kinda.
Well, we do in our spare time.
What little some of us get.
Yes.
Listen, there's been so many bloody releases. Ever since they did Warhammer Fest, stuff's been coming out left, right, and center.
Oh, I just can't keep up with it, dude.
I want to talk about the Age of Sigmar stuff. Thoughts? What are you thinking?
Do you mean the new Orcs and the new Stormcast?
All of it. All that and the concept of an AOS 3.0 in light of those new models. Everything. Okay. Give me a big brain on it.
Well, look, I obviously when they announced it on Warhammer Fest, a new what would you call it? A new opposition to the Stormcast was almost a given. First one being Demons of Khorne, or Khorne itself. The second one being Nighthaunt. It makes sense that this one is now Destruction.
I see. It was Chaos, Death, and now Destruction.
Yep. Yeah. So it makes sense. And you know what? I'm glad that it's getting some love. Could have easily gone to Chaos again. So, glad to see the Orcs are getting some love. I don't know how I feel about the models, and I think that is sort of replicated across the scene. Some people not liking the aesthetic versus the old stuff or the older stuff.
Of which ones? Because both sides are brand new looks, aren't they?
They are. Yeah, the Stormcasts are much sleeker. Obviously, they got the Terminator-looking ones, which are big, beefy dudes, but it's almost like they're getting the Primaris treatment versus the first early Stormcasts that they released. They're just like the Liberators, just the hammer and shield dudes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sure. I like it, and I like how they're all different. Like it seems to be every edition they're bringing out different Stormcast. Like it's not just the same troops that are sort of like rebranded, I suppose you could call it. Like Nighthaunt, what was it called? Soul Wars featured heavily on magic users of the Stormcast variety, where the first edition ones seem to be more like just like battle line foot troop kind of dudes.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how they go with these ones.
Yeah. Yeah. I also, additionally, my first thoughts of AOS 3.0 was great. First of all, I've got Age of Sigmar models. We both love the Age of Sigmar models overall.
Yeah.
The community in Geelong for Age of Sigmar is real good. It sort of died down and almost died off because they're sort of sick of where the rule set's at.
Yeah.
So that's, at least through our eyes, that's what we've seen externally. So I was excited for a 3.0. I was like, this is great because anytime a new edition's released, people like us can start to, perk our ears up a little and be like, oh, if we were to learn now, we'd be learning at the same time as everyone else. Doesn't matter how experienced they are, they know as much about 3.0 as we do, kind of,
Yeah. Yeah, in a way, yeah.
So that got me excited. And then I saw both models, and I guess whoever made them and me were in that, we're birds of a feather, because I saw these and I was like, these are tremendous. These might be some of the best models they've done for Age of Sigmar, and I'm talking over the Bone Reapers, which I froth. I just love the... Yeah, I guess I'm at the opposite end. I love the aesthetic of these. I think, I guess to me, it's sort of a move away from the old style war games where a lot of the limbs and torsos, they had these overpronounced features that originally they had to do because people were sculpting these, and you just can only sculpt so small.
Yeah.
And you have to recast those sculpts, which meant, you needed big hands, big feet, big features.
Yeah.
Whereas these feel like these are more in line with, like, I guess it's a realism take of the fantasy genre. So I'm just looking at like they're more human shaped. You could almost think that these were actual humans in well-fitting armor, as opposed to the old Stormcast, which, I don't know, chunky.
We're just like squares with like
They're kind
helmets.
of yeah.
Yeah.
I get the same vibe from them as I do like Grey Knight Terminators, where I'm just like, there's a guy in there. How's he walking around? Is he walking around like those meatheads at the gym that kind of walk with their arms out? Like,
yeah, because they can't bring their arms any closer to their body. Yeah,
you can't put a damn seatbelt on. These guys look like they could put a seatbelt on, and I like that.
My models have to be able to drive safely before I
they
even
can't
think
drive
about
safely,
buying them.
that armor doesn't mean crap if they fly out the windshield. So
yeah, that ain't gonna stop them hitting the road at fucking 80 kilometers per hour.
Ain't no chance.
Yeah,
but these guys, they're slapping seatbelts on.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Do you think they're going away from the heroic style, or do you think they're taking the heroic, the 28mm heroics gauge, and they're changing it by just like keeping the maybe the bodies more realism, and then making the weapons and all that sort of stuff more that heroic size?
I think they're making heroic the standard for sure. I think it's they put so much detail into just your standard foot sloggers. We've seen it since Gene Stealer Colts and Adeptus Mechanicus release. Like some of their
even Tower pretty good. Like detail wise,
yeah, for sure. But you look at some of their newer stuff. I'm thinking when I first got into it and I saw just a regular Skitarii Vanguard. It's just the tiniest details on this tiny model. I was like, they put so much effort into this. This could be what I would have thought was a character 5 years ago,
Yeah, but he's just a a grunt. You know, one of 10 in a unit. Yeah.
Him and 5 of his homies are dying at a blink from a bolt gun, you know? So they put that much effort into all their things. It makes sense to make them heroic scale, Primaris them, make it easier on them to pump out these things at high detail, but also good quality without affecting the actual mechanics of the game too much. So, yeah, I think heroic is the new standard for them. I think they'll Primaris everything eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe not scale, but even just like the new Necrons. I feel like they're probably the same size as the old ones, but they just feel like they got more meat to them, which is ironic because they're robots.
I haven't even compared the new ones versus the old ones. Like I haven't even put them side by side on a table. So that would be
I wouldn't be surprised
if later.
I reckon the new ones would be as tall as them, probably. No, I feel like they're bigger.
Maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know, even the details on them, they've got like wires hanging out and chips and stuff everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas, yeah. So I love them. I could see myself getting a few sets of the starter set because I want two full armies of both orcs and thingos. But that's...
Oh, you're going both?
You know, I could see myself doing that because I'm a psychopath.
Of course. But realistically, would you go... If you and I were to do what we always do and split one of these bad boys... Which side? Oh, you're completely 50-50? Like you're
I've never been more 50-50. Yeah, I couldn't be more 50-50. I could see... Like, I was thinking about this exact thing because I was like, well, Shane would actually probably want the orcs because he's already got so many Stormcast. So I'd be left with the Stormcast. I was like, that's fine. They're dope. They look like cool Pantheon models. They're like the 300, but cooler. And then I was like, no, wait, maybe he wants to expand on it because, like, why would you want the old Stormcast when you can have these cool new ones? If he loves them as much as me, then I'm left with the orcs. That's great. The orcs look like a mix of, like, ogres versus Urukai. I love them. Yeah. So I'm 50-50, man. Whatever.
Yeah.
Where are you leaning? Now you've got me curious.
Oh, probably Stormcast, I reckon.
You're not really an orc guy.
Not really. The only orcs I dig are Warcraft orcs. You know, they're when I think orcs, and like, you know, Urukai, like Lord of the Rings orcs too, but like, when I think orc, man, first thing that comes to my head is fucking Warcraft orcs, man. So I don't know until I can get that, I don't know. I kind of actually, you know what? I kind of feel like I've got that in one of the new Warhammer Underworld's warbands. It's called like Head Crackers Mad Mob or something. They look like orc shamans. So I kind of feel that a little bit from them. But yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. This has a shaman that it reminded me of exactly that. It's like a witch doctor looking dude. It's not in the set, but it was announced at release or whatever. But
okay, interesting.
Yeah, it was announced on there when they were unveiling them or whatever. So
yeah,
there's one of these heroes. I'm scrolling through the thing trying to find it. There's an orc hero that just reminded me of a not to be named. Oh wait, they own the IP, right, of Middle Earth or whatever.
Yeah,
but some of them look like they could just be Urukai or like Lurtz. They've got that vibe, which is Lord of the Rings character.
Sure.
An Urukai guy with the crossbow. You know the guy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I know the guy. Yeah.
I just love them. Yeah, I think they look dope.
Hell yeah.
There's so much detail in these models, man.
Oh, dude. It never ceases to amaze me. Even like when Soul Wars came out, you know, like I was looking at these and I'm like, the fucking robes and like they all have like glass vials on their hips because like that's something to do with Soul Wars. And like, you know, the detail there was just incredible and like it just gets better and better. It's like where can this stop? How there's obviously there's a critical mass here. Like how good can it get before it can't get any better, you know? So
totally.
I'm interested to see like we're going to experience that for sure, dude. Like I reckon the next I'd say less than 10 years. That's a hobby homies guarantee right there. They're going to reach a point where they can't get any better.
You couldn't go an episode. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's fine because I don't know. There is I guess a think tank, or like a thought where you could argue that instead of Primarisifying one of the newest factions in Stormcasts, potentially revisit one that hasn't had love in 30 years and hit that up. If you've got the ability to put all this detail that you didn't, 30s is a bit of a stretch, 10, 20 years ago, maybe redo those and keep that on the cycle. So it's like, whatever your oldest army is, redo that one for the new edition, or the oldest two armies. Like,
well, dude, 30 years isn't too bad, because 30 years was the 90s. So...
yeah, there you go. Wow. Let's say that. Yeah. But, I mean, I look at these models and I wouldn't have wanted them to do anything else. And potentially, I don't know how old the orcs from... what do you call it? From
Age
AOS are. Yeah.
I don't think that old. I feel like most
they look
armies got a bit of a revamp when Age of Sigmar came out, because I'm pretty sure they just basically deleted everything else.
Yeah. Which, I mean, obviously people hated at the time, but if you don't, you do get some issues like, and this has already caused some, you now have these cool looking Stormcasts in an army with some of the clunkier looking ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, obviously you don't want to hit the delete button on the Stormcast. They're quite new, right? But it was more exasperated in the old world. So
yeah.
Some of the rat men next to even Skaven, which, oh man, if they redid Skaven, could you imagine?
I could imagine. You know what? Actually, like, after Churchy and I was playing Vermintide the other day, I couldn't help but just jump on GW and just go through all the Skaven.
Have a bit of a sus.
Yeah.
Their Skaven, their current Skaven hold up fine anyways. Yeah. Just a few of the models are a little bit, how you going?
Yeah, that's true.
There's a company that I won't name because I don't want to like give them business, but they have like an alternate Skaven line in like resin models that they've designed themselves.
Wow.
Which is not great because the tricky thing is they look so much better than most of the GW ones.
Yeah.
And it's always hard when you've got those things on the side that people are making on their own volition that look better than the GW stuff that you pay way more for.
Well, how about I throw this curveball at you? You buy these alternate rat men looking dudes, right?
Yeah.
And play War Surge with them.
Yeah, I definitely could, but you get torn, right? Because these things look dope. Yeah, they absolutely look incredible, but it's a blatant IP ripoff. And if I buy their things, that company grows. Sweet, maybe they eventually make some things that aren't blatant ripoffs. Yeah. But GW misses out on my Skaven sales, so they're like, oh well, not a lot of people play Skaven, so we'll just push them to the back of the queue for the remake.
Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But then I don't want to buy their Skaven models just so that they give me models that are better than this other person's models, you know? So, yeah. But they also can't support every single army. They've absolutely blown up over the last 10 years. So, I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's tough.
It's tough. I wouldn't buy. If I want to play a Games Workshop game, I'm going to buy their models.
That's fair. Yeah.
But I do like how much War Surge has opened up for us. That's very cool.
Hell yeah. Yeah, man.
I'm thinking about all the cool games we could play. Ugh.
Oh, so many. So many.
Skaven would be cool.
Very cool. Very cool. They need a revamp. I know everyone will argue their own army needs a revamp, but I looked at the Skaven and I think it's time. It's time to give him some love.
Well, yeah, I'd agree with that because, like, I mean, you go to them and a lot of their models are old as heck.
Yeah.
And, like, basically their entire range is made to order. Like, they've all got the little, little arrow on it, which is fine. But
yeah.
But I think some of their stuff looks super... The gutter runners, so dated.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And some of their models are just like, are these the night runners? All that stuff. You're like, are these old models from the old world that you've just put on round bases? What's going on here?
That's a yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, they do need to touch up. They got some cool stuff recently, which is great. If you can't... they've got a production schedule. They knew about these Orcs and Stormcast 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So they just had to pump out some vermin lords and just keep us over the line. So
that's very true.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts? If you had to rate AOS 3.0, this starter set, on the 10's like a guaranteed, gonna have it, must have it, gonna buy it on release, can't wait. One's like I would never touch it with a 10-foot pole. Where are you sitting there, Shane?
Oh, man. Guff put out an expression of interest post about it the other day. I didn't comment on there. I nearly did. So, look, it's not... This isn't going to be made to order issue like... a limited run like Cursed City and all those. This will be there. Well... I don't know. Has this been fully announced as the starter box? Because, if it is, it will be available for the next 2 years minimum. If it hasn't been, it may be Indominus, man. It may be. Maybe this is what you get for now, and then we'll offer 3 different entry level boxes. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't actually know. That's a great question. I looked at the amount of models in it, and I thought, this can't be the starter set, because this is going to cost a lot.
Yeah.
It says, I'm just reading the top line. It says, Dominion is the ultimate introduction to the new edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, that's the same thing that could have been said about Indominus.
Yeah.
An ultimate introduction because it had all the models. This box has it all. Armies astounding, new miniatures, expertly refined rule set to support your epic battles. If you've missed the live unboxing, here it is. Yeah, they haven't said specifically starter set.
Yeah. I got a feeling this might be an Indominus, man, of Age of Sigmar proportions. So, who knows? It might be one of those ones where you get in or miss out.
It would be crazy to see them do that again.
Oh, I know. You think after that and Cursed City, man, they fucking would have
to. But everyone's
learn.
Well, that's it. To a lot of people, those are PR blunders, but to GW, those were fat stacks.
Oh man, they figured out exactly how much money, how much to print to make bulk profit, and then they're like, that's it. We've made our cash. Sorry. I don't even think they said sorry. They probably said "fuck you" to everyone.
I think they said sorry. They said sorry for Indominus, that's for sure. They said sorry. We'll make it made to order. But I mean, it's not you could argue that's because they wanted more people to get Indominus. They felt bad. You could also argue that's a business decision. If there's so many people crying out for it, why would you leave that money on the table? Do another run. But they didn't do it for Cursed City, so...
They've deleted all records of Cursed City, man. You can't see it anywhere. And it has been. The archives have been cleansed, dude. You can't find anything about it anywhere now.
It's like that Star Wars scene where Obi-Wan's looking for the planet.
Exactly.
It's if the records aren't there, the planet doesn't exist. It's like that on the GW store. Yeah. Hey, can I buy Cursed City? Excuse me, what? It's this game. I just can't find it on your store. If it's not on the store, it doesn't exist. I think both were a huge success, because they obviously figured out, they printed up all these copies and they said that should be enough for everyone, and they sold out instantly. So whatever they were planning on making over X amount of months, they made in minutes.
Oh yeah.
So I think just whatever you had for Indominus. Now this isn't 40k, but it's an intro to a new game that might have people so hyped. Whatever you did for Indominus, print double. But if it's their starter set, I was wondering if the scalping is getting so rampant in Games Workshop products that I wonder if this could go full PS5. Say it is the starter set. They don't have limited run, but they have limited production.
Yeah.
So what if people are just buying so many to jack up the price that, like the PS5, they can't keep up with the scalpers?
So you mean they're walking in, they're buying one, they're walking out, and they're selling it to someone in the queue for double what they paid for it?
Absolutely. They're getting them and their 3 mates to buy the only 3 this independent game store has.
Yeah.
And then as many as they can online, because they know they can just make 25% off on each copy.
Yeah.
Because people need it. If you want to play the new iOS, the rules are in here, everything's in here.
Fuck, man. It's so bad. It is so bad.
Yeah, it's not GW's fault that there's scalpers. I mean, look, it happens in every... You see it with graphics cards. You see it with the other thing I just mentioned, the new gen consoles. No one's impervious to it. It just seems to be a new thing that's just like going nuts. So
yeah, yep.
If this is the new starter set, this is for sure going to go 100% Hobby Homies guarantee. If this is the starter set, which I don't think it is based on the name Dominion Indominus, I think you're right. But if it is, it's the top tier one of the 3 different ones you're going to be able to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure. Mirror match up that stuff. Keep it uniform. Give people 3 options. The recruit box, I think, has been phenomenal for them.
Yeah.
Make an AOS one of those.
$50, man. They did. They actually did with Soul Wars. They had, I believe it was 3 boxes, like the main Soul Wars box, and then they had 2 smaller ones.
There you go.
Tempest of Souls and something else. But yeah, like it really is, man. That $50 price bracket of a starter box is like you and your mate can get this and play a game for $50. It's like it's perfect. It's great for parents with kids. It's like I've got 2 kids, $50, and then they're into it. You know, like
yeah. That's it.
Yeah, dude. That's it.
That's a Hobby Homies guarantee. It's either going to be good or bad. So
it's 50-50, yeah.
50-50, as all things.
Yep.
Perfectly balanced. I'm excited for it. Oh, you didn't. Hey, dude, you copped out. You didn't tell me. You didn't give me an out of 10 where you're at.
Oh, I did. Oh, yeah.
No.
Like a 7.
That's pretty high, dude.
Pretty keen.
That's true. Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Maybe I'll have to sell some stuff. Yeah, you want to buy my neck right now?
I already said yes.
I think I'm also, I think a 7's a nice even number. If the thing is, I'm like a 7, but if you're in, I'm like a 9. So patent pending.
So if we're both in, and I'm a 7, and then you're at a 9, we're a 16 out of 10. So we have to get it.
And surely knowing that I'm at a 9 now because you're at a 7 bumps you up even further, like 7.5, maybe an 8.
Call it 8.5. Yeah.
Oh, sure. You're basically a 9, which puts me at a 10, and we're basically 20-20 on the bish.
All right, fuck it. Let's do it.
No, I don't want to. Oh. All right. This has been Beers and Banter, the least educational episode of anything you'll ever watch or listen to. I've been Fox.
I've been Shane.
And you've been surviving this. We'll see you next week.
Hooroo.
Peace.